Did you just say transition?
I
Okay.
did say
Anyway,
transition.
hi everybody. Welcome to the College Fanfair. I am your host Matthew Redding. With me, my brother Micah Redding. Micah, real quick, if you can put it on the screen, that would be great. Um, I just want you to look at what I've uploaded into the chat. We're talking about playoffs. I thought this would be a fun little ditty to start with. So, do we still say ditty? Anyways, this comes from the at Reddit College Football Twitter page. So shout out Reddit CFB. Can you put that graphic on the screen real quick?
Yeah, hang on. This is so easy. Do image file
Those of you
browse.
listening, see if you can comment. Unless you've been to the Reddit CFB Twitter page and know what it is, then don't comment. Just try to guess what it is. So
Okay, 3, 2, and it is up there on the stream. So I'm gonna have a proper
okay,
look at this. What am I looking at? What?
just tell me. This is obviously a playoff bracket, right?
Right.
What do you think it's comprised of?
This right here, what I am looking at. This is if Ed Orgeron was the college football commissioner.
So that's how we get both LSU and Louisiana in two top four seeds.
Yep.
No, great, good guess. No, it's incorrect.
Is this
First of all,
the...
imagine these today versions of these teams playing this postseason. All right, that'd be hilarious, right? But no, are you ready to know what this is?
Mm-hmm.
This is some genius over at Reddit CFB. Shout out to whoever made it. I don't know the name exactly, but some genius made a top 12 college football playoff comprised of teams that have vacated the most wins in college football history. Starting with number 1 seed LSU, followed by number 2 Ole Miss, number 3 Louisiana. The Raging Cajuns apparently cheated a lot and vacated a bunch of wins. I don't know the full story there. And then Alabama at number 4. So, it was just brilliant. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, I gotta share this. This is awesome. Whoever made this, thank you for putting in the time for it.
Who are you most surprised by to be here?
On the vacate, I mean, okay, it's Louisiana.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Alabama recruiting violations probably. LSU recruiting violations probably. Ole Miss recruiting what did Louisiana do?
That's a double-headed
you
question because all of these other teams are like Power 4 teams with national championships and rich college athletic traditions.
Yeah, but it's
And then there's Louisiana Monroe. Not saying that they're a bad program. I'm saying if you're going to have to vacate wins for cheating, shouldn't you expect to have won because you cheated?
right.
Like you cheated and you didn't even
clearly,
have success.
well, clearly they did because they've got the number 3 spot for most wins vacated.
But they don't have the number 3 spot for the most wins. All of these other teams have just miles of accolades and giant trophy cases. The Raging Cajuns, yeah.
They cheated and they still didn't do it. It's like, come on. I don't know. I thought that was worth a look and a laugh. So,
Thank you so very much.
but speaking of playoffs, tonight we're doing the usual pajama party and picks and all that good stuff. But we haven't done our brackets in a minute, so we put them together to talk about who we think is going to get in, who's left out, blah blah blah. Micah, I have not seen yours yet, so I am going to let you share yours if you don't mind. Let's just dissect them and see who we got crossing over. All that good
There's
stuff.
playoff bracket. Oh wait, no, I understand what's going on. Okay, so now that that's set up, real quickly, I will send you mine over the Discord, as you do.
All professional podcasters use Discord.
Absolutely.
Fun tip for all of you. So,
like, it's just so convenient. All right, there is mine, and we're going to start with mine.
are you an idiot? You put Miami in, seriously?
I have a reason for that. All right. Do I think...
Enlighten me. First off, read off your teams.
All right, so at number 12, we have Notre Dame. Now, I think there's something very interesting that can happen with Notre Dame this year. But there they are. Since the committee is hell-bent on including Notre Dame, despite the fact that they have 2 losses, and despite the fact that there's another 2-loss team that deserves to be in more. They're determined to have them in there, so I put them in at number 12. Number 11, speaking of 2 losses team that would deserve to be in more than Notre Dame, Miami. Do you know why?
Enlighten me.
Because Miami beat Notre Dame. They both have 2 losses.
Okay.
One of Notre Dame's losses is to Miami. So if you have to put a 2-loss team in, who are you going to put in?
You are operating under the assumption that Cristobal is not going to lose, just absolutely fumble the bag again.
True. But this is about, like, as the season currently stands.
Here. Okay.
Like, I'm giving more weight to projections in terms of, you know, what should happen. Knowing that there's 100% a chance that Cristobal is going to fumble the bag. But if everyone wins out, best case scenario, and if the committee is just determined they have to get that name brand recognition with Notre Dame and put them in, then by their own logic and talking about head-to-head matchups and whatnot, you have to put Miami in. You can't leave Notre Dame out and not put Miami in. Or you can't put Notre Dame in and leave Miami out. Now, I 100% believe that the committee will put Notre Dame in and leave Miami out, even if Miami wins out, just because ESPN hates the ACC. However, this is my playoff bracket. And so I'm going to put Miami in, as that is the righteous thing to do. So then after Miami, I have number 10, Virginia. They are the ACC runner-ups. Again, it's the ACC. They're going to get screwed over by the committee. But even so, I think that even as the runners-up, they should be higher. But we don't live in a fair world. So I'll put them at number 10. At number 9, Memphis. Why Memphis over South Florida? Because I'm a homer at heart. And I love Tennessee, and I love my Tennessee teams, except for the Volunteers. They can go cry in a river. But Memphis is near and dear. Also, Benny. You know, you got to support the homies.
Shout out Benny Balderrama.
And then, speaking of the homies, Ole Miss. My good friend Mark, he's an Ole Miss fan. So I got to represent them. Now, I 100% can foresee... I mean, has Lane Kiffin even had his big egregious upset loss yet? Or has everything been kind of... Yeah.
Everything's kind of been going perfect for him. But if there was ever a weekend where that was going to happen...
It's going to be against Florida.
Future Florida head coach Lane Kiffin, yes. But that's another episode. I just talked about that actually. Yeah, it would be against Florida, but this time it's being played at Ole Miss, so chances of that happening. But yeah, well, we'll see.
I mean, Kentucky beat Ole Miss at home
this year.
Not this year, but like, you know, again, Lane Kiffin, he's due for that upset. That you absolutely dropped the ball there, Kiff.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not against Florida, I'm looking at the schedule right now. I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
Yeah.
They're 9-1. there's a really good chance that the Georgia game's his only loss of the season.
Yeah. So Ole Miss is in. Whoop-de-doo. Good for them. Next at number 6, Texas Tech. They're my Big 12 champs. I'm just going to go off of the assumption they're winning. I'll stop picking them to win when they stop winning. So Texas Tech, Big 12 champ. They're at number 6. Number 5, Alabama, the SEC runner-up. Not a whole lot to say there. And then I have Alabama going up against the ACC champion, Georgia Tech, at number 4. Why do I have Georgia Tech at number 4? They have one loss.
They won the ACC.
They won the ACC, but there's another more important reason.
Well, because they beat Georgia in this scenario.
They beat Georgia in this scenario. And I have a feeling deep down in my soul we're going to win clean old-fashioned hate this year. So I feel perfectly justified. Everyone does. But yeah, I feel...
All my homies hate Georgia. Georgia. Anyway.
Yeah. So Georgia Tech and Alabama. Me putting Georgia Tech at number 4 is my one bias in this prediction. I'm not going to play any more into those biases, though. I'm going to let Alabama beat Georgia Tech. Likewise, number 3, Indiana. The cigarette lights up Texas Tech. You do not light up the cigarette. The cigarette lights up you. And he moves on against Texas A&M, who also just beat Oregon.
You don't like the cigarette lights you. I love that so much. That's awesome.
Thank you. I just came up with that. The last quarterfinal game is Ole Miss versus Ohio State, with Ohio State winning. Again, they win, they keep winning, and so until it stops, I'm just going to assume it keeps happening. Ohio State then beats Alabama. Colin DeBoer does not get his statue outside of Bryant-Denny quite yet. Could you imagine if Auburn did that? Put up a statue every time a head coach won a national championship. You'd have a statue of Gene Chizik outside of Jordan-Hare.
We'd have Gene Chizik, we'd have Tommy Tuberville, we'd have Barry Bowden, we'd have Doug Jordan, which we already got a statue of Doug Jordan. So
yeah.
We've got 9-time national title.
Mm-hmm.
Eat my shorts.
But I'm saying it was like Gene Chizik. You're going to put a statue up of Gene Chizik. Tommy Tuberville's perfectly understandable. Like, he deserves a statue just for beating Alabama 6 times in a row.
We need more. We do need more statues, definitely. Mm. I will agree with you there.
Do you guys have a statue of John Heisman?
No, but
you have.
But the statue I want more than that is a statue of Jarrett Stidham on the Buc-ee's parking lot in Auburn. So
yeah,
because he's from Texas. So in case you didn't know.
Speaking of Texas, A&M. How's that for a transition? Yeah, there you go. Texas A&M beats Indiana in the semifinals to meet Ohio State in the national championship game. And because it would be boring for Ohio State to win it 2 years in a row, I'll say the Aggies are the 2025 national champions. Because Notre Dame is responsible for putting Miami into the playoff, they are officially forced to join a conference. Since they're being given the benefit of the doubt as a 2-loss team because they don't play a conference championship game. And if you force them to play the conference championship game, maybe they have a 3rd loss. And if they have a 3rd loss, they get kicked out. And then the playoff committee has every good reason not to include Miami. And so they could include 2 extra SEC teams. Greg Sankey is happy. ESPN is happy. YouTube TV subscribers are still miserable. And Auburn hires John Sumrall. Bob's your uncle. Oh, and Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, and Florida burns their stadium to the ground.
First of all, Florida's going to burn their stadium to the ground regardless. It's inevitable down there one of these days. But
yeah.
Okay. I don't hate it. The Miami thing, I raised an eyebrow at, but then when you explained it, I was like, okay, well, it would have to win out.
Yeah.
And look impressive doing so. It's just, the problem is, in the losses that Miami has suffered thus this far, they did not look great. They didn't look competent. They didn't look prepared. North Carolina State, who you know all about, Dave Doreen is in his bag when he's coaching for his job. That's their next opponent. And then they also face a ranked Pitt squad. So, you know. And they went out? Yeah, absolutely. It's just based upon what I have seen this far, and based upon what I saw in their last two losses, I wouldn't put money on it. Now, they do have a good resume, right? Like, they beat a ranked Notre Dame. They beat a ranked South Florida. They beat Florida. They beat a ranked Florida State. Like, they own the state of Florida, right?
Yeah.
It's just, right now, Cristobal has not done enough for me to believe that he's going to avoid that damning third loss. But at the end, it might not matter. Because, like, Georgia Tech and Virginia could win out, face each other in the ACC title game. And, you know, the winner gets the seed while the runner-up also gets to make an appearance. And that's all they want.
I mean,
even if you were the playoff committee and you put 3 teams in, what's going to make you put... Actually, I just answered my own question, so never mind, I'm not going to ask it. But if Pittsburgh beats Miami, what's going to make you put Miami in over Pittsburgh, you know, as that third ACC team? So we'll see. Miami has to win out. They have no room for error right now.
I mean, I would put Louisville in over Miami.
Same.
If Pittsburgh beats Miami, I'd put Pitt in Miami. But they're not going to award the ACC more than 2 slots unless they have to. They just have to have Notre Dame in there. But but if Miami wins out, they can't put Notre Dame in and leave Miami out. Because Miami has, I mean, the ACC posted a comparison, Team A versus Team B, and Team A was vastly more impressive than Team B in like a blind criteria. The most important statistic being Team A beat Team B.
Right.
And so Miami, yeah, they have some ugly losses. They have better wins than Notre Dame. And they have a win over Notre Dame. So you can't put Notre Dame in and leave Miami out unless you just absolutely expose the whole system as a scam. Like, you want to talk about 12 best teams. You have a head-to-head matchup between 2 10-win teams. One of them has more ranked wins. And you're going to leave them out just because they're part of the ACC and because they're not Notre Dame. They don't have that brand recognition. So they would have to include Miami, which means they would have to leave Miami out. I mean, not Miami, Louisville. They would have to leave Louisville out, which I think Louisville, no, they deserve to be in because they beat Miami, and they would be 11-1 if they went out.
So speaking of like playoffs getting, you know, rigged up by broadcasters, you're gonna hate my bracket. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you that.
I'm fine with that. All right, let's look at it. Let's have a good solid look.
This is, again, I don't hate yours. The Miami one makes sense after you explained it. Mine's kind of like what I think will happen. It's not so much like what would I do right here and right now. This is just kind of like I'm trying to look ahead at how everything plays out, and I'm trying to guess, okay, on the big reveal day, what do I think is going to go down? And I think at the end of the day, what's going to happen is 5 SEC teams will make the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Because A, that's money for ESPN, right? Unfortunately, money talks. But B, the SEC, all of their top teams have like ranked wins and ranked losses. And the reason, and I'll kind of get more into why I picked the ones that I did, but you'll notice, I'm just going to start with, I'm going to go from the top down. I'm going to do the opposite of what you did. So, 4 seeds. You've got your Group of 5 winner, Memphis, again representing. So I think they run the table and they win the conference, and kind of like how we saw with Boise State last year, as to not appear to be, super biased towards Power Fours, they'll give Memphis a slot. Which, I'm under the opinion Group of 5 should not have an automatic 4 seed. They should be in the playoff, but not, that's a different podcast. I'll catch you for that take another time. But Memphis, I got at number 4. Big 10 winner, Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I've got at number 1. Big 12 winner, Texas Tech. We're in agreement there.
Yep.
Texas Tech comes in. And then SEC champion, Alabama, getting pretty at the number 2 slot. Immediately after that, we have the Big 10 runner-up, Indiana. We have the SEC title game runner-up, Texas A&M. Or excuse me, yeah. I'm not going in the right number order. Who's 5? 5 is Ole Miss, just a random one-loss team that doesn't make the SEC championship game because Bama and Texas A&M took it. Also, there is a chance that Kiffin will Kiffin himself. But, Georgia Tech, our ACC title game winner, makes an appearance. Followed by Oregon, again, just a super strong Big Ten team that's got a good resume. I agree with you on the Notre Dame slop. So, despite the fact that they have done nothing this year, except have 2 really good losses, they'll find a way to squeeze Notre Dame in. Now, I almost put Virginia in this spot. And I hope that if this is what would happen, this is, how it would go down. But again, between Virginia and Notre Dame's going to get more money for ESPN, so they would pick them in a heartbeat. And then, of course, Texas A&M makes an appearance, Georgia makes an appearance, Vanderbilt makes an appearance. So, where is Texas and Oklahoma? And why is Vanderbilt in there? Well, great question. So, Texas, as we know, beat Oklahoma, which currently has 2 losses.
Yep.
One of them to Ole Miss. At the end of the day, Bama and Oklahoma play this weekend. It's not going to be the same as last year. It's being played at Bryant-Denny. Jalen DeBoer is in his bag. Ty Simpson is far and away a better quarterback than Jalen Milroe. So Bama's going to give Oklahoma their 3rd loss, knock them out of contention. Texas, despite all the crap that we gave Arch Manning and how bad they looked, they've flipped the switch and they're pushing, right? But they still have to play the juggernaut that is Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas A&M will give Texas their 3rd loss. Vanderbilt, meanwhile, they're still looking for that ranked conference win, that premier victory, right?
Yeah.
Well, who gives that to them finally? I'm glad you asked. Tennessee, at the end of the year, comes in at number 20 or whatever, and Diego Pavia has his way with the Vols, and Vanderbilt notches their 10th win, and it's against a ranked opponent, and it makes for a good story, right? So Vanderbilt's now in the playoff. Now, here's the thing, though, Micah. If you see a playoff where there are 5 teams, bet your bottom dollar the committee's going to try to weed out as many of them as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I was tempted to put Georgia versus Texas A&M and Vanderbilt versus Ole Miss, right? Decided to be a little conservative with it. But, you'll definitely see an SEC on SEC matchup just to get them out, hide the bias as quickly as possible. In my scenario, Ole Miss beats both Vanderbilt and Memphis until they run into Ohio State in the Final Four. Georgia Tech wins the ACC. Unfortunately, they run into Oregon and current quarterback 3 in the draft, Dante Moore. Oregon, however, has an Ohio State problem. So Ohio State once again knocks them out. Notre Dame, they lost to Texas A&M once. They'll do it again. And Texas A&M runs the table against Texas Tech until they run into Alabama, who beats Indiana, who upsets Georgia.
Yay.
I really do. I really think this time, Indiana got bounced pretty quick last year. I really do think they'll actually get a win or 2 this year. So, My championship game is a lot more boring, though. It's Alabama versus Ohio State.
Snooze.
Yeah. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I just really like Ohio State, man. Like, they've got two of the best receivers in the country in Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
They've got the best defensive player in the country in Caleb Downs. It's like, we knew Ohio State would be good. It's just because Julian Sain was a freshman, none of us had the thought of what if Julian is actually better than Will Howard, who won it last year, right? Nobody asked that question. Well, now the question has been answered, and surprise, he's really freaking good.
Yeah.
Like Heisman good. And you pair that with what Ohio State already had in the stable, like they're just such a good team, dude. Like it's gonna be hard for me not to pick them to repeat.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to the Michigan game. So yeah. And then in the off season, the hot seat gets turned up for Kalen DeBoer because he lost the game. Lane Kiffin goes to Florida. John Summerall's the new Auburn coach. Bob's your uncle. Anyways.
There you go.
And either Kirby Smart or Steve Sarkisian goes to the NFL.
Yep. Can it be Kirby Smart?
Maybe both. Honestly, just get both of them out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I think it plays out. So we've got very similar brackets. We both far and away we agree that Texas Tech, after beating Brigham Young, it's their conference to lose. Which after you spend $28 million on a roster, that's the goal, right? I agree with you though. Notre Dame's going to be forced to join a conference soon.
Yeah.
Especially if they get left out this year. Like the perfect scenario is they get left out this year, and they have to answer the ACC's phone call or the Big Ten's phone call this time, right?
It has to. I mean, they're contractually obliged if they join a conference. It has to be the ACC.
Oh, see, there you go, and that couldn't be better for the ACC. Because they need another flagship program because their babies, Clemson and Florida State,
who, by the way, tried to sue the ACC so they could leave, thinking we're too good for you guys. That's beautiful.
Part of the whole loss. Yeah.
I mean,
too good.
We never did have that seat at the table discussion, but it's looking at the ACC this year. The two who are supposed to be at that table, Clemson and Florida State, just haven't appeared. And now it's Louisville, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, who are
just like we predicted.
Just like everyone predicted at the top of it this year. Plus Miami, they're consistent, far more consistent than Florida State and Clemson. It's just Miami is cursed never to actually win an ACC title game. Yeah. But if like this trend continues, the ACC is building up parity. And adding Notre Dame to that list, ACC could rise as a true competitor to challenge the Big Ten and the SEC's dominance, especially since I have Georgia Tech beating Georgia. If the ACC goes 3-1 in rivalry week, I don't think Florida State beats Florida.
1,000% not.
But it'd be great if they did, because the ACC going 4-0 and one of those wins being over Georgia, that'd be awesome. That'd be glorious.
And then Mike Norvell would get fired finally, even if he beats Florida.
Yeah.
We are living in a world where we could see interim head coach Gus Malzahn get the full-time job at Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
As an Auburn fan that watched him lose to Florida State in the title game, I don't know how I feel about that. But they do have the number 2. Actually, I don't have to imagine. This was Auburn's nightmare for years because of Gus Malzahn. Imagine having the number 2 offense in the country and you've lost 5 games. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's our brackets, everybody. We are both unified on the idea of Ohio State meeting an SEC team in the title game. Mike could pick Texas A&M to win it, although I'm sticking with the Buckeyes, still proven otherwise. So, speaking of the ACC, though, that's a great transition. for that. We're gonna go to the ACC and pajama party it up, yo.
Huzzah!
It was a great transition.
That was awful.
And I lost it. Yeah. All right. Pajama party. Those of you who know your college football history, that's the name of the game between Auburn and Georgia Tech. I'm an Auburn fan. He's a Georgia Tech fan. So we do this every time just to kind of talk about our teams, get some steam off our chest. Y'all got steamrolled by the great David Dorian, however you say his name. And you still have Boston College. Okay. You still have a 22 ranked Pitt team and a number 5 ranked Georgia team on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Micah, how are the vibes in Atlanta for Yellow Jacket fans? What's going on, buddy? You want to talk about what happened?
Okay. And as far as the NC State, we didn't record last week, did we? No, we did.
No. Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. I did. Yeah, because I talked about how the silver lining to that loss is Haynes King is still, like, his Heisman campaign is full steam ahead. Please grease those tracks for me, because it's going to go all the way to New York. Other than that, it was an ugly defensive performance where, frankly, we just either have no defense or, and I'm really hoping this is the case, whoever NC State's coach is, you just said his name. Dave Doreen. He just drew up a perfect game plan to exploit Georgia Tech's defense and executed it flawlessly. And it's like, all right, you know what? Golf claps.
Well, yeah, he's known for that. Like,
yeah.
He is the upset king, especially when his job is on the line.
Yeah.
It's like watching Gus in the 2020s. Like, or the late 2010.
Yep.
When his job is on the line, oh no.
So, I think defensively, this is kind of the moment where we learn who Blake Gideon is. Right? Because up until NC State, he has held every opponent to under 24 points in regulation. So, there has been solid kind of result from the defense. It's just the rushing defense was really concerning and left a lot to be desired, and that's what NC State took advantage of. And so now we look at it and now we ask ourselves, okay, Blake Gideon, are you going to collect yourself, watch the tape, figure out what went wrong, and use this as a sort of, aha, now we have seen our weaknesses against NC State. They have shown us where we're lacking, and we're going to use this to repair those. And now we're ready for Boston College, a ranked Pitt team, and the team to the east. And we're going to play our best ball yet. We're going to go to the ACC. We're going to win the ACC, and we're going to get that 4th seed in the college football playoff. Or are you going to collapse and show that you're not as sexy a hire as everyone was hoping you would be, and this being the weak point in Georgia Tech's team will be exposed, and we'll finish like 9-4 or something, right? Still make the AC. Well, no. Make a bowl game, but lose to Georgia, Pitt, and then, whoever our bowl team is, right? So 9-4, yeah. As far as our floors go, 9-4, that's really good.
Yeah.
And I would be really I would be excited about that, except for the fact this is Haynes King's last year, and I want him to win a championship, either the ACC or the national, and the Heisman. So, all in all, Brent Key, there's a lot of noise going around in terms of the recruiting trail. A lot of talk about he's about to start flipping a lot of highly sought after recruits and raise Georgia Tech's rankings, signing another top 25 class in back-to-back years. Yes. plus all the success in the transfer portal, and with everything he has accomplished in 3 years, will be the foundation upon which a dynasty is established. Georgia Tech will take their seat at the table and will hold it for a good decade. And on the 10th anniversary of the College Fanfair, I will look you in the eyes and I will say, told you. Ha! That's like, best case scenario with the 9-4 season. That's a really good scenario. But I don't want a 9-4 season. Right? I feel spoiled. I feel like a rotten child. Damn it, I want an 11-1 ACC title game and college football playoff berth and a Heisman.
Now, if all that happens, which, first of all, I'm not shocked by the North Carolina State thing. I tried to warn you.
Yeah.
Go back a couple of episodes. I tried to warn you. That's just what David Green does. But Boston College, that's a win. Come on. Pitt, okay. Tell me you're
at home.
Pitt. Like,
I mean,
it's at Pitt.
No, it's at home. It's at Bobby Dodd.
Yeah, it's again. You're scared of Pitt.
And it's senior day. If the defense can figure their shit out, no, I'm not scared of Pitt at all. But that defense was so bad, looked so bad. I don't know if they are bad. Again, Dave Doran could just have been doing whatever witchcraft he does. And, they turned around.
The question, this is like, if you want to talk about transitions, this is top tier. The question, like, assuming everything you hope for happens, or everything you hope for but don't want, 9 wins, 11 wins. Brent Key staying?
Yeah. When he was asked about those questions, he said, I want you all to cut me open and see what color I bleed. It was like, I'm here to build a foundation. That's what my goal is. I think he was the one who mentioned, I left Alabama for the exact same position here.
Yeah.
Why would I leave for the exact same? Like, if I would leave Alabama to come here, why would I leave here to go anywhere else? But even with that being said, rumors were floating around that Georgia Tech is preparing a new contract for him, with a raise, not just for him, but for the whole staff. Like,
good.
Even so, it's like, okay, yeah, no, he's staying. We're good. I think pretty much everyone has gotten the idea. He's not leaving his alma mater. And
not at all. I agree with that 100%.
Not just like the heart thing, but I 100% agree with you in terms of the fact that Brent Key's success is only possible at Georgia Tech. Both because of just he embodies that culture, but because it's in Atlanta and it's that wellspring of talent that he's starting to like tap into. He's starting to build the wall around those recruits.
Yeah.
And so
I agree with you. Like, he only works at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Same thing with Clark Lee and Steph Brom, like all these other guys that are being mentioned.
Yeah.
These jobs, it's like, I don't think you understand the significance of not just coaching your alma mater, but coaching them to a championship season. Like,
yeah.
You don't walk away from that after working that hard, right?
Yeah, and it's also why it's like, Auburn, you should have just given Cadillac Williams a very short leash and saved your money. Like, be like, hey, we'll give you 3 years, $2 million a year. Go for it. Worst case scenario, it's a relatively shallow buyout and you can go get Lane Kiffin or whoever. Like, but that's neither here nor there. Boston College game should 100% be an easy dub. I'm looking forward to it. I am starved of my precious Haynes King highlight reels. Because that's at this point, that's just all these games are becoming whenever he's on the field. Is like 90% instant highlight material, and then 10% occasionally Buster Faulkner goofs it and calls a stupid play. A stupid trick play on 1st and 10 in the enemy's or in your own territory on the most crucial drive of the game. Whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also, one reason why I'm looking forward to it is, I'm going to pull it up. Because Brent Key released the injury report for this week. Let's see if there is it. Brent Key. I mean, yeah, okay. So the only person out is the long snapper Will Benton to the fourth. Everyone else is back.
What a name.
Yeah.
What's up with Georgia Tech getting all these royalty players in?
So we are fully reloaded, fully rested. Defense and offense are locked in. I'm expecting the defense to be pissed because I think they know they lost us that game. They got, I think, one punt that entire game. And they're like,
yeah, because if you win that game, then beat Boston College, you lock up the ACC.
If we win that game, we would have locked up the ACC.
Yeah, and essentially would have just about locked up your playoff appearance.
Yeah. So I think they know, and as a result, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be mad. They're going to be like, no, that is not who we are. That's not, our identity. We're not the weak link in this team. And they're going to show that by completely swarming Boston College and putting on an absolute, kind of display of dominance that will make everyone kind of raise their eyebrows and go, oh, that's right. Georgia Tech is a really good team. They're 8-1, well, now 9-1 for a reason, and you shouldn't just discredit them just because Dave Duran did Dave Duran things. So that's all I have for Georgia Tech, honestly. Haynes King for Heisman. Go vote on the fan vote online. Tweet it out. Shout it from the hilltops. Go tell your grandmothers about it. And if, some Jehovah's Witnesses show up, sit them down and start teaching them about Haynes King. So,
When you mentioned Jehovah's Witness, we saw the Book of Mormon last night. One of the funniest musicals I've ever seen.
Oh gosh.
But anyways, yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they were in their bag with that one. That was awesome. So
speaking of Trey Parker and Matt Stone, tell me about transitions.
Yeah.
And how this is a horrible one. Auburn, speak.
The transition would have been like Brent Key's not going anywhere. Yeah, and one of the jobs was Auburn, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, played Vandy. This is the start of the DJ Durkin audition.
Mm-hmm.
First quarter or first half looked incredible. I mean, the offense was clicking. Derek Nix proved that he wasn't the problem. It's amazing what happens when one guy preps the offense and calls the plays. It looked like the Lane Kiffin offense, which is what he ran at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. So it was beautiful. Ashton Daniels put up 300 yards through the air, had 80 yards on the ground, 4 touched. It was insane. Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, over 100 yards receiving. What was Hugh Freeze doing?
I was going to say, I was going to make the comment that Hugh Freeze was cheeks based off of, what I saw. But then you mentioned Ashton Daniels got 300 yards in the air. So I have to change that now and just say it. Hugh Freeze was ass. That is so embarrassing.
Bro, you had this. Where has this been all year?
Well,
I'm sorry. Thank you for recruiting the guys, but you wouldn't do anything with them once they got through the door. So,
I mean, it was pride.
The offense looked great. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, DJ Durkin now, he's wearing 2 hats. He's not just coordinating, he's coaching. He's the head coach, right? It looks like in the second half, when Vanderbilt started doing some new stuff, they made adjustments
Yeah.
in the locker room. Diego Pavia started making more outside plays. The defense just looked woefully unprepared, and they let Vanderbilt come back after being down 20-10. Vandy wins it in overtime. So for the first 30 minutes of the game, it looked like DJ Durkin, it was his job to lose. But now we're right back at square one, and it's a frustrating loss. It's not a frustrating loss because we lost to Diego Pavia and didn't end Vanderbilt's playoff hopes. Like that would have been nice if we did all that, right? But that's not consequential to what we really wanted, which was clarity on the head coaching search. Because if DJ Durkin wins this game, there's a number one, and he's already in the building. So
yeah, you're not competing against everyone else, because everyone else is trying to hire a coach this year.
And I've been saying, like, you can look at my tweets, you can go back to other episodes. I've been saying I want DJ to get the job. I really want Auburn to just have a justifiable reason to rip the interim tag off, give him another shot as a head coach, let him go get his staff in there. Well, now it's just like, okay, well, the players want him. The locker room loves him. The recruits want him to get the job. It's just you shot yourself in both feet last Sunday because all of a sudden you're no longer the full-time coordinator. The defense took a huge step back. And so, yeah, we're right back at square one with the coaching search. And he needed to win that game. He still has a chance. Like, if DJ Durkin wins the Iron Bowl, like we're on a bye week. We should beat Mercer, right? If DJ Durkin wins the Iron Bowl, you cannot look him in the eye and tell him to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Like, let's say Auburn hangs 35 on Bama and his defense holds them to 10 points. You don't run that man out of the building. So, chance, but it took a huge hit last Saturday.
And this is why you fire Hugh Freeze after the Georgia game.
After the Missouri game.
Georgia.
Like the Georgia game was hard to call because the refs definitely got in there and made it about themselves. Like to the point they are fired. Like that's how bad the ref ball was.
Yeah.
They are no longer working.
20 yards of offense in the second half. You fire Hugh Freeze for that reason alone.
The Missouri game is when I would have done it. Auburn had a bye week that week. That there was no ref ball this time.
Yeah.
Like you can't blame the refs this time. And you remember, I made a video. I ranted. I was like, get Hugh Freeze out of the building right now. Because if you fire Hugh Freeze after the Missouri game, Auburn's on a 3-0 run right now. They beat Arkansas, they beat Kentucky, they beat Vanderbilt. Boom.
Yeah, because DJ Durkin has time against, weaker opponents to figure it out, to know how to be DC and HC.
And then there's no question, right?
Yeah.
There's just no question. But we're right back at square one. I've heard a lot of things. There's a name I texted you, which I won't say on here, but it's picked up a lot of steam. Nothing, again, only John Cohen knows who's going to coach at Auburn. Actually, I take that back. We're only going to know who's going to coach Auburn the day he gets hired, right? Like, we're going to have something ahead of time. You're looking for the text, aren't you?
No, I'm looking for... don't worry about it. I'm listening.
Okay. But the thing is, with John Cohen, he's not afraid to swing for the fences, but he uses a lot of smoke screens, right? Last year, it looked like it was going to be Lane Kiffin. Apparently, he was talking to Hugh Freeze a good bit, more than we thought, because we were all fixated on Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin took the job and then changed his mind. But apparently, Hugh Freeze was also a stronger candidate than we thought, and that's how he got the job. So John Cohen, right now, you're going to hear the name John Sumrall associated with Auburn a lot. I don't hate it. The lack of SEC play calling experience does give me reason to pause, but again, I don't hate it. He's a good coach, good recruiter. He knows everybody in the state of Alabama, and he has taken 2 different programs to 10 wins.
Yeah.
Right? But because John Sumrall's the favorite, it gives me pause. Because it's like, I've been down this road before. Is he actually going to do it? Like, is he going to get an offer and is he going to accept it? And one guy did tell me that he would be interested, but I just, because of what history tells us, I don't know if he'll take it. I don't think he'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, my gut right now, if you put a gun to my head, if DJ Durkin wanted it, Vanderbilt, it would have been him, right? Now, if you told me to pick somebody like who I think it's going to be based on what I'm hearing and from what I've seen, I'd keep a close eye on Kenny Dillingham.
Okay.
I feel like that's who's going to get the job. And I don't hate it. I feel like Dillingham would keep DJ Durkin. But yeah, you're going to see John Summerall's name a lot. He's the current betting favorite across all major platforms. And again, it's because of that Troy connection, the Alabama connections, which makes sense, sure. I would like Kenny Dillingham more. He's told his players he's staying, but then there are reports that he was in Auburn. I don't know how credible they are, but we've seen coaches say they're not leaving, and then they leave before.
Yeah.
You have to seriously consider him based on his body of work with Bo Nix, both at Auburn and at Oregon, and what he did at Arizona State. So, if you put a gun to my head and told me to pick one right now, I would say Kenny Dillingham. So, just because he's the second favorite, right?
Yeah.
And Auburn seems to get stuck with its second favorite a lot. But this time, it wouldn't be a bad one. I'm still rooting for DJ. I really want DJ to win out.
It would be like the simplest, and I think like Auburn needs a culture win, and so if the recruits and the team already loves him, that alone makes it a very good looking hire.
Yeah, he's got to win out. If he goes 1-2, it's done. Like, there's just no shot.
Mm-hmm.
He had to go at least 2-1 to have a great argument, right? And his best shot at that slipped by him. So John Summerall's the betting favorite. My gut tells me it's Kenny Dillingham. I really want DJ Durkin, though. And so does a lot of people in Auburn. Like, everybody in Auburn, from what I've heard, they love DJ, and they're hoping that he gets enough done to get it.
Yeah.
Which, by get enough done, means beat Bama. So, beat Bama and win the bowl game. Finish 7-6. There you go.
I mean, he made a lot of progress in 1 week. Flipped that offense around.
Well, that was where Derek Nix, not having Hugh Freeze tell him he can't call the offense, right? But yeah, dude. Sure, let's see if Durkin can get a better grip on head coach. Like you said, let him get a better grip on being the DC and the head coach, or let him find one of his guys to relegate that to. And dude, if Derek Nix keeps putting up numbers like this, yeah, keep him.
Yep.
Like,
see what happens.
Because how did Georgia Tech find their head coach?
Hired him in house.
Yeah. How did Notre Dame find their head coach?
Hired him in house.
Yeah. Like, and what do they have in common? Positional coaches that let their coordinators run the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fact, that's how a lot of teams are. Like Dan Lanning, not the defensive play caller at Oregon. He just lets his coordinators run the show.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a bye week for Auburn. There's going to be a lot of names that pop up, and it's all going to be a lot of he said, she said. Again, I really do think the way past coaching searches, and I've been like in the thick of previous coaching searches, and even when I had the best sources giving me the best intel, it was never the guy that got mentioned the most.
Yeah.
Like, last time, it was literally Lane Kiffin until the 11th hour, when the more shocking thing happened, which was he said no, or changed his mind. Which I appreciate his clarity on what happened, because I heard reports that he had agreed, and that's why we were all breaking the news, right?
Right.
But then he doesn't go, and it was like, okay, well, I know like my sources don't suck, like they're not liars, but for a minute they looked like they were, right? So, and then 4 years later, he's like, no, I did take it, and I was like, oh, Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, just I didn't know that there was clauses that you could back out of a contract. That's a new thing to me.
Yep, happens
I'm not
all the
big into
time.
coaches.
So
If it happened all the time, I'm sure I would have heard about it sooner. Like that was honestly a first. I've never heard of a coach that took it well, Greg Schiano, but that was where the fans. It was just so bizarre. I was like, I know the information I'm getting is correct. Like I know he took that job. And it's like, well, he did, but did he? Did. I don't know. Anyways, that was like 5 years ago. So moving on. We'll see what happens. I'm keeping an eye on it like a hawk, but I'm not. Again, it's Auburn. We're not going to know until it happens. So
those are your picks for Auburn's next head coaches.
I'm Dillingham and Durkin.
Great.
Top three.
Speaking of picks,
Okay, you slide.
nailed it. You are whooping my ass 17-11.
Holy cow! Dang, dude. All right.
I know, it sucks. So,
Let's get started and see if you can catch up. Unfortunately, the double-edged sword of having weekday games goes like this. Yes, you can watch football Thursday and Friday. Downside, do you really want to? Of course you do. College football. But we're not going to worry about Thursday's matchup. About 5 weeks ago, I would have made us pick Louisville and Clemson. But then you would tell me only one of them would be ranked, and I'd be like, well, that's fine. It's still Clemson, right? Playoff, right? No, Louisville's ranked. So we're going to skip that one. No cards, but we're gonna skip that one. So what a world, right? Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Notre Dame has a chance to get their first ranked win of the season. And they go to number 22, Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh could do the funniest thing.
And royally screw over the ACC.
Abso-freaking-lutely. They could do the funniest thing. It's just, right now, Micah, I know Notre Dame, they haven't won a game of significance, but you got to give Marcus Freeman his flowers. The defense looks great this year. So I'm having a hard time picking Pitt for anything. I know their record would say otherwise, right? But right now, Notre Dame, they know this. It's do or die. This is it. Get that ranked win, lock up that playoff spot, or go home. So give me the Fighting Irish.
Well, this is a comfortable, I got to make up some ground pick for me. Not going to think too hard about it. I'll take Pitt.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to disagree with everything and just hope you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So we've got a rivalry game happening in the SEC. It's called the Battle for the Golden Boot. You might as well call it the Trash Bowl. Arkansas versus LSU at LSU. Both currently without head coaches.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. Again, a better name for this game would be the Trash Bowl. Or the Toilet Bowl.
Call it the Interim Bowl.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just going to go in and go out on a limb here. Ready for this?
Go on that limb.
I feel like Arkansas is going to win this one. Bobby Petrino, once again the head coach at Arkansas. Taylor Green playing significantly better football than Garrett Nussmeier or whoever the backup was. Which, welcome to week 10 where Garrett Nussmeier got benched. Hello. So yeah, give me the Hogs. Give me the Hogs.
Holy.
Yeah, just because there's not a lot of top 25 matches doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but so. Welcome to the jungle.
They're both just... I don't see a world where either of them wins. But someone has to.
Yes, you're right.
Everything inside me is saying to pick Arkansas. Because someone has to win, and I think LSU is better at finding ways to lose. But I gotta try and...
Great way to put it.
I gotta try and make up some ground. No.
There will be other games here, dude. Like you could pick.
All right, fair enough. I'll take Arkansas. Yeah, I'm gonna.
We're both calling the Hogs. Okay.
Again, they're both bad, but LSU just finds ways to lose easier.
You hit the nail right on the head. That's the best way to put that take. All right, moving on. We're gonna get nuts. So, staying in the SEC. Number 11, Oklahoma, fighting for a playoff spot. They're traveling to Tuscaloosa at Alabama. They beat Bama last year in Norman with Jackson Arnold, which says a lot. I can attest.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Alabama had Jalen Milroe at quarterback, and I know he went in the 4th round of the NFL draft, but Ty Simpson's going in the 1st round. So, you know, I hate to pick Bama, but then again, the line is only 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas sees this as like a Bama 24-21 type win. It's just if you put up a gun to my head and told me to pick between John Mateer or Ty Simpson, I'm taking Ty Simpson. So yeah, give me Bama.
Okay. Here is my makeup game. I'll take the Sooners. How did I get that wrong?
Oklahoma Hoosiers.
Okay.
Coached by Brett Signetti.
Another top 10 matchup in the SEC, I'm assuming, is next.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So Georgia Tech, Boston College. Come on. We're both
Yeah.
Tech for that one. Yeah. North Carolina State, the team that upset Tech, travels to Miami with a chance to do the funniest thing ever. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know who to pick for this one.
I think Miami knows their season is in jeopardy, and it's at Hard Rock. So does Mario Cristobal lose another game? Yeah. Is it going to be to NC State? No.
Yeah, I'm also picking Miami. This would be hilarious, though. This would be so funny. I kind of want to happen. So we both picked Georgia Tech. Quick top 25 matchup in the Big Ten. Iowa, which, excuse me, I didn't know Iowa was even ranked until like a week ago. Iowa travels to USC. I like what Lincoln Riley has done with Jade Mavia. He's kind of been slipping up lately. Oh. Do I want to play it safe and take the Trojans, or do I want to get risky and take Iowa?
I'm going to go ahead and write down my answer. But I'm not going to tell you until you say yours.
Give me the Trojans.
Okay. Same.
Oh,
USC has more to lose. And I think that's why this is going to go to the Trojans. Okay.
This is very true. Moving on down, now we're going to get to that top 10 matchup you mentioned. So Texas travels to Georgia. Bulldogs. Texas could not get it done last year at home with a better quarterback, while Georgia had a worse quarterback. Right?
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and take the Dogs.
Okay. The Devil will be trying to find a steady supply of firewood before I ever pick Georgia in a matchup. So I'm going to take the Longhorns, and this is another makeup game for me. So do I run the table and I get the Pitt game, Oklahoma, and Texas, all to close the gap down to only a 2-game lead for you? Or is this kind of the beginning of the end for me, as I have to figure out how to buy you a pizza?
I'm gonna give you one more as an opportunity. You ready?
All right.
Unranked Mississippi State goes to unranked Missouri. I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Oh, good, because I would take the Tigers.
There you go. All right.
Sweet. I can cut it down to a 1-point lead, or absolutely just crumble and die. Find out what happens next on the College Fanfair. Woo! Yep. Transitions.
Okay, for the full ending, Mike, how can people check you out? See what you got going on?
You can find me mostly on Twitter at NotMecha. And
I'm also mostly on Twitter. Oh, going ahead.
Oh no, that was it.
I'm also mostly on Twitter at the Barney Man, stepping away from Mike Farrell Sports for a little while. But I'll be right here all season long with my brother on the College Fanfare. Y'all have a good night.
To hell with Georgia.